everybody. So welcome to Rachel's Reviews. And today we are talking about my top 15 favorite films from 2024. And this is always something I really look forward to doing. It's so hard though, because I like different things for different reasons. So compiling a list and ranking one over another. But basically, these are 15 movies that I really enjoyed. And I'm doing lots of other content. So I'll go into more detail in those episodes. I did a best and worst episode with Conrado. We went into detail with that. And then I did a long episode of different superlatives and going into all of these with the Female Film Critics panel with Molly and Manda. So there's all of that. Plus, you should check over Hallmark's podcast. We're going to have a lot of best and worst over there for the Christmas movie season and the rom-coms and everything like that. So make sure you check that out. Well, at number 15, I have Molly and Max in the Future. This is a very small indie film that I saw at South by Southwest, not this year, but previous year. And I kept in touch with the director because I really enjoyed it. It's like this cool sci-fi take on When Harry Met Sally and director Michael Litwack. And it's just amazing. Like him and his friend that got through the pandemic building models and making all the stuff for this movie, and how much of it was their ingenuity and their creativity and creating these whole worlds, and what they did on a nothing budget is just very inspiring. And I thought it was funny. I thought it had good romance. I really enjoyed it. At number 14, I have Heretic. This movie, it does kind of lose its way towards the end. It becomes more of a generic horror than it needed to be, but especially the first part, I really thought it did a good job of these sister missionaries. I was a sister missionary coming up against this guy who thinks that he's so smart and has all these arguments against their faith and against just faith in general, and that back and forth tit for tat between them. I really thought was good, and it was the movie after I saw it that I talked to my brother about it for like an hour, and I wanted to talk about. I did a whole episode with Rebecca of Female Film Critics panel. And I thought that was really good. And it was just the movie that I wanted to talk about the most from this year. Another one that I wanted to talk about a lot was I saw the TV Glow. And this movie doesn't like have enough plot. It's a little too ambling for some people. I totally get that. But I thought that its message about the way that media becomes literally a part of who we are and becomes part of our being, was the main message I took away from it. And how that, especially when it's something that you've grown up on, and then the experience of kind of transitioning away from that and how painful that can be, and just all those things. I thought it was a beautiful movie. I thought it was a thoughtful movie, personal movie, and of course it has themes about trans people and them not feeling at home in their bodies. All of that was interesting and well done. I enjoyed it. At number 12, I have Superman, the Christopher Reeves story. This is a documentary about Christopher Reeves, and it was really a documentary about their whole family and how they adapted and evolved and came together and changed. And it was just so moving and well done, well put together, and very personal. And I really appreciated that. At number 11, I have Chicken for Linda. This is a beautifully animated film about a mom who wants to make it up to her little girl for scolding her. And so she agrees to make her daughter's favorite chicken dish. And so they go around the city trying to find all the ingredients. It's so sweet. It's so funny. The animation's wonderful. It's a gem. Number 10, I have The Brutalist. This is just like such an epic, impressive achievement. It is kind of exhausting, but like I just watched it and just think like, how did this get made? It was so ambitious that it did kind of win me over. The acting is incredible. It's such a sweeping story. It was one of the most impressive films I've seen since There Will Be Blood, just in the scope and the cinematography and the performances and just everything else. Very impressive. At number 9, I have Wicked. I thought that they did a wonderful job bringing this musical to the screen. I still don't think it needed to be 2 movies, but I really liked the performances and the songs and the choreography and I was invested in the story, and I'm excited to see where they take it from there. And I think it's the only movie that we'll see 3 times in theaters this year. Then I have Strange Darling. And this movie was so clever. It was so creative, the way that it was subversive about the final girl horror tropes. And what you think is at the beginning gets completely subverted by the end. And what you think you know about the characters gets completely subverted. I thought it was a really brilliant screenplay, very good performances. I just really enjoyed it. At number 7, I have The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. This is like a perfect adaptation of this book. It is so heartwarming, so sweet, such a good Christmas story, such a good story of faith, so well acted, but not preachy. I think that anybody could enjoy this movie if you're open to Christmas movies. It's excellent. Number 6, I have Touch. This is a beautiful film out of Iceland that tells a dual story of this man and his love when he was young with this woman in London. And he worked in her father's Japanese restaurant, and they fell in love. And now we are in March of the pandemic. And I can't think of any other movies that have really captured that pandemic experience, the lockdown experience. And he has only so much time, and he wants to find this woman again. And it was, I thought, very, very beautifully done movie in all regards, both young and old. Number 5, I have Hundreds of Beavers. This movie is insane. It's crazy, and all the better for it. The energy, the visual aesthetics, that they did on $150,000 budget, insane. The creativity, the laughs. It is a little too long, but that wasn't a deal breaker for me. I just really, really enjoyed it, and it was so much fun that it had to make my list. Number 4, I have Musa. I love this so much that I interviewed Rudy, and I interviewed Dallas Jenkins for Best Christmas Pageant Ever, but I interviewed Rudy Mancuso, who is a semi-autobiographical about this man with synesthesia, where he hears every tick, every sound, and it just becomes this music all around him. And I just absolutely loved it. The romance between him and Camila Mendes was like real in real life. They really fell in love, and so it's there on the screen. And I just really enjoyed it. And then 3, I have A Real Pain, and loved this script. It was so sharp. It was so well done. These two, it really felt like cousins. If you have cousins, I think you connect with this. And like there were just so many funny scenes, but then also so many emotional scenes. It just felt really authentic to me, and very entertaining. At number 2, I have Ghostlight, and this is a real life family playing the mother, daughter, and father here in this. And this is a tribute to community theater and the power of just community to help us heal our wounds. And you have this man who's quite wounded from something that happens, and he's like made eye contact with Dolly De Leon, who is in this community theater group. He's this gruff construction worker. She sees him. They need help with their exercises and stuff going on. So she's like, hey, why don't you come and help us? And so then he ends up playing Romeo in Romeo and Juliet, which was just so sweet. And I loved it. And number 1 is The Wild Robot. I absolutely loved everything about this movie. I think it's as close to a perfect film as we got this year. Incredible animation, incredible vocal performances. Peter Nyong'o, so good. And I just loved the whole message that the power of nurturing another being is transformative by its very nature, and that even though this is a robot, it can't help but be changed from nurturing this little goose. And I loved how grown up it was. There weren't any like modern jokes or winks to the to entertain the adults or the kids. It was a pretty grown up movie, I think, and it was just so well done. And that is my number 1 movie of 2024. Let me know what you think of this 15. I would love to hear your thoughts. And please let me know what your favorites are for the year. I would love that in the comment section. And make sure you check out my worst of the year list. I would really love that. And please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I would be very grateful for that. Make sure you check out the longer podcasts that I'm doing this week and over on Hallmarkies Podcast. I would appreciate that. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel, like this video, and check out the Patreon group. That's the biggest way you can support me, and you get to be part of watch-alongs and other cool perks. And also check out the merch store. We have tons of cool designs, like a #animation junkie shirts. Check that out. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Bye.